Welcome back to the Wealth-Wise Trading Charting video. Well, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Want to get some on my videos. It's always going to be live streams, very rare that I will be doing any pre-recordings on here. Welcome everybody. Thank you for coming back. Right, so what was I going to talk about? Well, obviously it's been a few days since I've gone live, and Bitcoin has pretty much done exactly what I believed it was going to do. Coming down to take out this liquidity area here. It almost cleared it here, as you can see. There's still more to take and more liquidity levels down below. So I still see it coming down, obviously not in a straight line. Could do a this, or it could do this in the opposite direction. Right, so that's Bitcoin update for you. Let's have a look and see what the S&P 500 has been doing. This is the weekly chart. So the week has started off green, which is today. Let's go back to the daily. Nice daily candle there. It hasn't quite reached resistance yet. It's been sitting around this area here, which is fine. But I still, like I said, if it comes back into this box here, I'll definitely be trading this on the way down. One to keep an eye on is the S&P 500, see how it reacts this week. Obviously, this evening is the Powell is going to talk about possibly stepping down. Although there's nothing on here yet. The coin desk saying anything about it. No mention of it at the moment, as we can see on here. But yeah, no mention of it. But apparently that was supposed to be big news today. But we have a green candle to start off the week. What does that mean in the long term for the week? We shall see how tomorrow goes. See if this is a confirmed fake move. DXY has been coming down, which means that people are more likely to be buying. So this comes down, people are buying because they're deploying their dollars. But it's sitting in this box here. See how it goes from there. But yeah, keep an eye on this area for the DXY, which gives you all of that sort of information. Right, how is Robinhood looking? Now, Robinhood's decided to go up, but that's fine. Like I said, you know, you're not always going to get it right on the first entry, but I've got my second entry, which is sitting up here at $73.99. It still has these gaps to fill on the way down. What goes up always has to come down. So it will come down eventually. So what it's at the moment, it is, I think, is that the, just need to double check because I have to remember so many things. Yeah, it's not price discovery, is it? Well, no, it's not quite price discovery because there's this wick up here from 2nd of August in 2021, which was Robinhood is the one of the cryptocurrency exchanges that you can use. It's quite famous, especially in the States. So that is the top that it actually made back in 2021. I'll put a line up here. There we go. That's okay. If it gets up there, I'll just chase trade this. That's how we do it. You chase the trade, and then eventually it comes down and gives you your profits. That's why you only invest 2 to 3% of your capital. That's how it works. All right. So what's going on in the news? Fintech Chime readies IPO but faces drastically lower valuation. This is Financial Times, which covers mostly UK market news. The market has begun to thaw in recent weeks on the hope that the worst of Donald Trump's tariff threats have passed. Now, there are some more threats coming out from Donald Trump, and that does actually affect the market, so keep an eye out for that. Dollar slides towards 3-year low as weak US data stokes economic fears. That is a very misleading title, really. Because if the dollar slides down, that means people are buying risk on assets and they're not taking the money back into the dollar. So you see how the news manipulates retailers' minds and make you think one thing, but it actually means completely the opposite. So I wouldn't even pay any attention to that. Private equity becoming a money trap. See, there it goes again. It's all absolute rubbish, to be fair. But let's be honest. It's all absolute rubbish. Now this one's interesting. How James wins $100 million implosion is familiar leverage tale. Trader suffered a 9-figure loss despite Bitcoin remaining fairly flat in terms of price action. It's probably because he's using quite high leverage and he's put his trade in a bit too late and going in the wrong direction, let's be honest. US-China tensions explode again. Of course they are. This is pretty much CoinDesk, which covers news mostly around the Bitcoin world. Right, FTSE 100 UK markets are on the up this week. So it's coming up to this area here, which is resistance, as I call it at the moment. Let's see how this moves. So obviously UK markets, the Asia markets are pretty important as well. But I live through the UK and the US markets more than anything else. Right, let's have a look at these quantum computer charts. As you can see here, had you taken this trade like I put out before, you'd be in profit still, and I'll be holding it down here. Almost came down to close this gap, but it hasn't done so yet. It's having a bounce because the S&P 500 is a bounce. Like in the crypto world, everything follows Bitcoin. In the traditional markets, everything follows the S&P 500 or the FTSE 100. That's pretty much the Bitcoin of the traditional markets. RGTI is showing red at the moment. Let's see how it fares here. If it stays under this line on the daily, I might actually take this down. It's a trade down to this area here, so we shall keep an eye on that. Ultimately, I prefer to take the trade from up in these areas here. But if it doesn't get above there and shows that there's definitely resistance, I'll be happy to take a trade down on that one. That's how you've got to really think in your brain on how to do things. Right, Quantum Computing Incorporated, which is the QUBT one, it's been coming down since I was talking about this, remember? Where I'm seeing it coming again is to around this area here to go back up to resistance, because look, it deviated above it, was a resistance. It didn't make it support, so it stays resistance. That's how you've got to look at it. Let's keep an eye on that one. Spoke about TGT as well. Still waiting for that to come to my areas here to buy. It's not quite got there yet, but it's staying under this nice resistance line here. Just waiting for it to move its way down. DEC, we spoke about DEC, remember? See that big gap here? It hasn't quite closed it. It could still close it and come down. Like I said, I wouldn't be interested in buying this till around these areas here. So see how it fares. If it stays above this line, say by the end of this week, and it's still quite close to it, I may trade it up, close this gap, and to close that gap. That's what I probably would be looking to do. Into, we spoke about Into last week, didn't we? Look at a gap it created here. Now, remember we drew this line? This was a post, which is telling you where it's likely to go. It's now in price discovery as far as I'm concerned. We'll see how it reacts up here, excuse me, and see what it does. So just keep an eye on this area that I've circled here and see how the price action fares by the end of the week. Because if it comes back below this line, doesn't get above it, that's be a nice short to these areas here, and this gap down here can be filled. Let me circle that gap so we can see it. There we go. Be a nice trade there, but not quite ready at the moment. Here's a Japan market. So you see it had a pretty dump there. It's gone back up again, sitting around this area here really. It's probably be a nice sort of resistance area, which I'll map out on here for you. Say there. So let's move this over. Looking at it from this perspective. Yeah. See if it gets back into this box. If it does, I'd probably give it a nice short trade to trade this baby down. That's what I would do. How's Apple looking? We spoke about Apple last week, didn't we? Look, it almost came down here, didn't it? Closed this gap on an excuse for the Apple earnings. It has a tiny gap here. Tiny gap here that needs filling. We'll see how it goes from there. Apple, interesting products. I love Apple. I've got Apple everything, to be fair. Let's do a line here. There's your line. Trend line. That's trend line number one. We kind of got maybe a local trend line here. So we'll see how it reacts on this area here and how it reacts to this area here. If it doesn't get above this one, I would say that's a trend line downwards. That will be a resistance line there. We'll see how that fares. Right, let's have a look at the silver trade that I've got running here. Look at that, baby. Look at just nice pump today on silver. Keeping an eye on this. Moved it. Didn't mean so. Keep an eye on this area here, and this is a resistance area. If it smashes through that and retests it, then we are pretty much on our way to this next area here. It goes through here. There's not much stopping it really, but as we know, it doesn't go in a straight line. It could do this, so just keep an eye out for that. Obviously, we know about the hood trade. I've already covered that one as well. And also, I have got palladium. That's now a nice little move back up. Palladium, there you go. Nice green candle today. I'm still holding on to that. China Automotive Systems started off well, but it's come down a little bit today, but that's okay. I really am not too worried about it. I'm still waiting for it to hit these areas here, which I will take profits on, and then let it ride up to these areas here, which I'll looking to ultimately close. Remember that. So QQQ looking was the Nasdaq series. Look at this line that I drew a while ago. Showing you an old chart here. See that? Could be the resistance line at the top there with a trend movement on the up there. And they've got a gap here to fill as well. Gaps, they do tend to fill their gaps. I mean, they like to fill their gaps. Obviously going mostly through traditional markets. Let's go to trading. Let's do that. It's already over here. So this is the ENA trade that I took. Obviously the long is still holding. It's had about 4 entries so far. And then I open up the short because it's gone below the indicator. Now you'll probably say, well, why didn't it open up here? Well, because I was actually busy on Friday. My attention was taken all day and I didn't pay attention to the charts. But do I look bothered? No, I'm not bothered about it at all because it's got to go up eventually. And my long is going to make loads of money. I'll make up for it and I'll just keep adding to the short and it will come down and make me the money eventually. And that's how you work it. That's why you invest such small amounts in it all the time. Bitcoin trade, look at that. That's still going strong. Thank you very much. I also added a new trade that I shared in my Telegram group. Link in the description below. Uxlink. I went in on a long here. Reasons for it. Volume is coming into this one at the moment. I've got some great researchers that helps me to figure all of this out and go through things and find some decent trades. This one's got some leg room in it. It's pretty much due to the Koreans obviously buying again, and this is one of the Korean tokens that they love in the cryptocurrency world. So I have opened my long and I'm going to be adding to my position when it hits here. See this box here? I've created this box on the weekly. There you go. It's a bit off kilter. Yep, here we go. This is an area that I would love to trade all the way down to. It'd be so lovely to add an entry here and then have my entry down here. That would be a beautiful, beautiful long. Do I see it coming down here this year? No, I don't. Will it come down here at some point? Yes, it'll be down here in the bear market. It might even come down even further. But yeah, this line here, this box here is a bullish box where I'm looking at to see if it gets past this area of resistance to here, and then it's plain sailing pretty much to here. If it does, these longs you really do want to keep, especially this year. Would I close it? Probably I would eventually. Yeah, I'll be holding it. I will let you know in the Telegram group if I do close it. You don't have to follow me. It's not financial advice. Do your own research before you invest your money in any of these trades. I'm just sharing exactly what I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. All right, so there we have it. Bitcoin is on. Is going to plan. Like I said, I'm looking for it to clear these areas down to the 89k region. My short is set to take profits down there. I've already taken 50% back, so I've got my investment back. And if it does go up to near entry or above, guess what? I'm going to reinvest that margin, and that will bring my Bitcoin entry even higher. And this is how you trade, guys and girls and everyone else. This is how you trade. You don't go all in on one trade and hope that it's going to go in the direction you've predicted, because these markets will move away from you sometimes, and you have to be prepared for that. You have to be. Yeah, it's really imperative that you stay focused. Okay, I think that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed this live stream and given a bit of an update on the markets. Where do I see Bitcoin going this week? Pretty much similar to last week, really. Down. Not all the way down here straight away. It might go sideways, but slowly it will eventually make its way down to here. I'm a patient person. I'm in no rush now. I'm not trying to get rich overnight. This stuff takes time. Remember that. All right, so I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for watching. If at any point you want me to do any specific charts, put them in the comments below. I will do those charts for you, and go through some trades. If you want me to see if I can get a trade on those charts for you, you just ask me. I'll see what I think is a likely movement, what the resistance areas are, support areas are, and areas to trade or what to look for. All right, please smash that like, hit notification bell, because I might do a last minute live that could be quite time sensitive. It can happen. I'll leave it there. Thank you so much for watching. See you all in the next video. Goodbye for now.